Let me tell you how this month ends. You're sitting on the sofa. It's the 23rd, and you open your banking app, one eye closed like it might somehow soften the blow. And there it is, £47 and 82 pence. Payday is 5 days away. Your stomach does that thing. You know the thing, that quick little drop, like you've just missed a step on the stairs. You earned decent money this month. You weren't reckless. You didn't book a spontaneous trip to Barcelona or buy an air fryer you don't need. And yet here you are, doing mental gymnastics to figure out whether petrol to get to work or food to eat at work is the priority. Sound familiar? Here's what nobody tells you. You don't have a spending problem. You have a visibility problem. Think of your money like a bathtub. You're filling it up. That's your paycheck coming in. You know the water should stay in the tub. But somewhere between payday 1 and payday 2, £300 just evaporates. And you cannot, for the life of you, explain where it went. That's not because you're irresponsible. It's because nobody handed you a torch and said, "Here, look, there are 17 tiny holes in this thing." Budgeting isn't about restriction. I know that word makes you want to close this video. Budget. It sounds like a diet for your wallet. It sounds like spreadsheets and guilt and saying no to your mates when they suggest a Nando's, but that version of budgeting is broken. It was designed by people who treat money like a maths problem, when in reality, money is an emotions problem. You spend because you're tired, you spend because you're bored, you spend because it's Tuesday, and no spreadsheet ever fixed a Tuesday. So here's what we're actually going to do. We're going to build a system so simple you could draw it on the back of an envelope. Because the number one reason budgets fail isn't lack of discipline, it's complexity. People hand you apps with 37 categories and color-coded pie charts and somehow expect you to feel empowered. Mate, a pie chart has never made anyone feel empowered. A pie chart makes you feel like you need to lie down. Here's the method. 3 buckets. That's it. Bucket 1, your non-negotiables, rent or mortgage, council tax, energy, food, the roof over your head and the lights keeping it on. This should eat up about 50 to 60% of your income. If it's eating more than that, you're not budgeting wrong. You're living in an expensive country. But that's a different video. Bucket 2, your future self. This is the money you pay yourself before anyone else. Not what's left over at the end of the month, because, let's be honest, there's never anything left over. We're talking a standing order that leaves your account the day after payday. 10 quid, 20 quid. Doesn't matter. What matters is it happens first. Before Amazon, before Pret, before the round at the pub you definitely didn't need to buy. Pay yourself like you're the most important bill in your life, because you are. Bucket 3, everything else. Your mobile contract, Netflix, the gym you definitely still use, nights out, birthdays, that coffee and pastry combo meal that somehow costs £9 now. This bucket is where the magic happens, because this bucket is where you actually learn what you care about. Not what you're supposed to care about, what you actually care about. When you look at this bucket honestly, you'll discover things about yourself. Like the fact you spent 47 quid on takeaway coffee last month. That's not a judgment. It's just information. And information is power you can actually use. Now, here's where it gets genuinely interesting. Most people think budgeting makes you feel poorer. And I get why. You're looking at numbers, you're seeing limits, it feels like a cage. But that's exactly backwards. Budgeting done right makes you feel richer. Because the anxiety you feel when you check your bank account, that's not anxiety about having no money. It's anxiety about having no information. You don't know if you're okay. You don't know if that direct debit is going to bounce. You're guessing. And guessing with money feels like walking through a dark room full of Lego. You're constantly bracing for pain. When you budget, you turn the light on. You know exactly what's coming in, what's going out, and what you've got left. That £47 and 82 pence you had on the 23rd? In a world without a budget, that number is terrifying. In a world with a budget, that number is exactly where it should be, because you already allocated everything else to its proper bucket, and this is your spare. Do you see the difference? Same number, completely different feeling. One is dread. The other is, right, that's mine, and I've already paid everything important. Here's the one thing I need you to remember. Your budget is not your boss, it's your employee. You tell it what matters. You change it when life changes. It works for you, not the other way round. The moment budgeting feels like punishment, you've built it wrong. Tear it up. Start again. This is about giving yourself permission to spend on what you love by cutting ruthlessly on what you don't. So, tonight, grab an envelope, an actual physical envelope, and write 3 words on it: needs, future, everything else. Then fill it in. Not perfectly, not with decimal points, just roughly. You'll be shocked at what you learn about yourself. And the next time you open your banking app on the 23rd, you won't close one eye. You'll open both.